Hello students, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to teach you class 8 cbse first chapter, that is crop production and management. So what do you mean by crop production? So the production of the plants, or growing of the plants in the same place, same kind of plants in the same place, that is called as crop production, and further managing them, that is storing and marketing, is called as management. How do you manage that crops in a good manner? So in this we'll be studying about the little introduction about the crop management and crop production, and we will study about agricultural practices, types of crop, basic practice of crop production, preparation of soil, and agricultural implements. In this video we will be studying about some agricultural practices, so and some types of crop. There are how many types of crops are there depending upon the season, and basic practice what farmer does for the crop production, and preparation of soil is one of the basic practice which farmer does. So in this class we will discuss one basic practice, and in that we will also discuss about the agricultural implement. So what all the agricultural tools are used, we will study about those tools. So children, you go to summer holidays to your native village and might have seen farms and many tools used there. Have you ever thought where are all these used? So if any time in the summer holidays you go to your native village, you can see some farms and fields over there, and in those fields some work will be doing using some tools. Okay, so have you ever thought where these tools are used, or for what these tools are used? So in our previous class we have studied that how plants can prepare their food, that is about autotrophic and heterotrophic. So these plants are autotrophic, they prepare their own food and they give food for us, and that food we get to eat, and we get energy from that to carry out all our life process. So this we have studied in the previous class. So agricultural practices. People before 10,000 BCE were nomadic. That means they wandered for food, but they wandered for food from place to place. Like they used to hunt, they used to eat raw vegetables, raw fruits, and they used to hunt the animals and eat. They didn't knew agriculture before 10,000 BCE. Later, when crops were grown in the land, then the agricultural got started from there. So what are crops? When plants of same kind are cultivated on large scale are called crops. So for example, we will take a wheat plant. A wheat plant cultivated in a large scale, many wheat plants are cultivated in the same place, that is called as a crop. Okay, based on the season, crops are of different types. So based on season, that is rainy, winter, summer, there are different types of crops. India has a wide variety of climate change which is suitable for agriculture. India is very suitable for agriculture, because there is a wide variety of climatic change here. So we are depending upon the climate. Okay, depending upon the climate, the crops are divided into two types, that is kharif and rabi crops. What are kharif crops? The crops which are sown in the rainy season. So when the climate is rainy, okay, when it is raining, that is from June to September in India. So when the crops are cultivated in this season, they are kharif crops. So what type of crops are are cultivated in this season. So paddy, maize, soyabean, groundnuts and coconut. So which crops require more water, those types of crops are cultivated in this season. That is, those are called as kharif crops. So what are rabi crops? Rabi crops, crops grown in winter season are rabi crops. Rabi crops are those which are grown in the winter season, that is from October to March. So those are rabi crops. Example, that is wheat, pea, linseed, gram and mustard. So wheat is grown, pea, those are green peas, and linseed and gram, mustard, all these are rabi crops. So there are two types of crops, kharif and rabi crops. Those which are grown in rainy season, those are kharif crops, that is from June to September. And those which are grown in the winter season, that is from October to March, those are rabi crops. Basic practices of crop production. What are the basic practices which farmer does? To get a good crop in the field, farmer needs to do some basic practices. So which even gardener also do, and even you do this at home for your ornamental plants. You might have some plants at your home, so you might have doing some basic practices for those plants, like watering, giving fertilizers, all these things. Okay. So in this way, farmer has to do some basic practices to get a good yield in his field or a good crop in his field. So what are those? Let us see. Preparation of soil, sowing. So before sowing, they will prepare the soil and make that suitable for sowing. Sowing in the sense, putting the seeds in the soil, adding manure and fertilizers. So whatever fertilizers and manure is required for that particular plant, that is added in the soil. Then irrigation in the sense supply of the water, how much water is required for that particular crop to grow. Protecting from weeds are these waste plants which take away the nutrients from a useful crop. So protecting the crop from these weeds is very important. This is also a basic practice. Harvesting. So harvesting in the sense when crops are ready to get harvested. So harvesting is done. That is also a basic practice. And storage is one of the important basic practice which farmer does. So after harvesting, storing those grains or cereals, pulses, everything in a particular, like grains require some other storage, vegetables require some other storage. So this storage is also one of a basic practice which farmer has to do for a good production. So in this class we will only study about the preparation of soil. So let us see. Preparation of soil, one of the important step of the farming. So this is one of the basic and first step and very important step of farming. Preparation of soil before sowing is important because loosening of soil is done in this step. So why this preparation of soil is very important? This preparation of soil is important because here we are doing the loosening of soil. Why this loosening of soil is important? This loosening of soil is important because when you sow the seeds, their plants grows, plants roots get penetrated deep inside. If the soil is not loosened, the roots can't penetrate inside. Once if the root can't penetrate, they can't withdraw the minerals and nutrients from the soil. So it is very important to loosen the soil. So how this loosening of the soil is done? This loosening of the soil is done using a plough. plough or a tilt. Okay, and there are many microbes and earthworms present in the soil, which so when you loosen the soil, these microorganisms will also help to make the soil very fertile. So this loosened soil sometimes contain the crumbs, so this crumbs has to be broken and the soil has to be made level before sowing. This is done using a leveler. And one more important step before sowing, moistening of the soil is very important. So farmers wait, yes, after preparing of the soil, they wait for the rain to come, then only they start sowing. Agricultural implements. So these are agricultural instruments which are used. We should have a bit knowledge about these instruments. Plough. So this is used for loosening the soil. So as we studied exactly 2 minutes back, that loosening of the soil is important as it is a step of preparing the soil. So you can see here, the plough, this is used to till the land and loosen the soil, adding fertilizer to the soil and removing weeds. So what all this plough does, this plough loosens the soil. By using this plough, we loosen the soil and will add fertilizers to the soil, and they will also remove the weeds, that is the waste plants. The plough is made up of plowshare and a plough shaft. See the L-shaped thing, that is a plough shaft, that is a plowshare. Okay, the plowshare at the end will have a iron plate like thing attached to it. So and the long wooden thing attached to the plowshare, that is the plough shaft. Plough shaft is further extended and that will form a beam, and that is kept on the neck of the bull, and that will help in, and those animals will help start moving forward, and the ploughing of the soil begins, that is tilling of the soil begins. So this was a plough. Next we will study about hoe. Hoe, you see, it is just a plough but a modified one which has an iron blade and used for removing weeds and loosening soil. So even this is also used for the same thing, that is loosening the soil and removing the weeds, but this is a bit developed ones. You can see a beam is there, a rod is there, a bent plate of the iron, that is the one which will plough the soil, that is remove the weeds and loosen the soil. So this is made up of iron, that is hoe. And one more thing, we have a cultivator. Nowadays cultivators are driven with the tractor only, though these cultivators are used for saving the labor's manpower and the time. So if we have this attached to the tractor, so only one man will be required to plough everything, but whereas if animal has to do this, it will take a long time. So this was about the agricultural implement. So in this class we studied about some basic practices of farmer and some agricultural introduction and what all basic practices farmer do. So in this class we studied about only one basic practice, that is preparation of soil, and in which we studied about agricultural implement. So in the next class we will be studying about sowing, harvesting, storage, and adding fertilizers and manure, how important it is to add fertilizers and manures. Thank you.